This is a tutorial on how to set up your Razer Core to be able to connect to your Razer Blade Stealth, or I'm sure it's the same way for the Razer Blade 16, as well as putting a graphics card inside the Razer Core. So in your unit, the first thing I'm going to do is open the handle, pull out the sled, and you will have some padding here that says remove before use, and that's pretty much it. So just pull that out, and honestly just look at each of these little connections in here. Like I mentioned in my Razer Blade, or in my Razer Core review, my initial unit had some issues, so just go around, look at each of the connections, make sure they're all well seated and connected. You also have in here, there's a power switch. So just make sure that's on the straight line, not the circle, meaning turn it on. Just make sure the power supply's on. Then you just slide this bad boy back in. Now I'm sliding it back in because we really don't want to have anything in there at first. Make it simple as possible. We don't want to put any I/O, nothing. Just leave it as is. You'll connect your power down here to the power spot where the power goes in. It's real simple. And your USB Type-C. Just plug that in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is after preparing your core, prepare your laptop device, whether that's the Razer Blade Stealth, Razer Blade 2016, or the Intel Skull Canyon NUC. Either way, you're going to want to update the Intel drivers. So for the actual CPU itself, there will be links inside the email that Razer gives you. If you don't have those, I can put those in the description below. And then you're going to want to come here to razerzone.com /gaming-systems/Razer-Core-updates. I'll put that in the description as well. And you're going to want to go ahead and download the Razer Core setup. Actually, this is a guide right here. This just tells you exactly what you're supposed to do. It's very basic, very simple. So we don't need that. So pick your device. You have the Razer Blade or the Razer Blade Stealth. I don't think that they don't have anything for the Skull Canyon NUC, so that's going to be something that you just connect to after updating your drivers on your on the Intel side. But this is a good updater tool. Go ahead and download and install. So for me, this is Razer Blade Stealth. You have this page right here. There's a guide and the updater itself. Just come over here and download the updater. And so I've already downloaded and unzipped it. So it's going to be right over here. And so the next thing you want to do is take the power cable, or the USB Type-C Thunderbolt 3 cable that is included with the Razer, and plug it into your appropriate slot. So the first thing you will normally see, oh, power came. So what you'll normally see, because if you watch my Razer Blade Core or Razer Core review, you'll know that I've had a Razer unit, or Razer Core before. I've actually had it since it was first launched. I was in the first shipments, and unfortunately, I was one of the people who had to do an RMA because there was some issues with my Ethernet port. So I've actually already gone through the setup, but normally you will see right in this area right here, you will see the Thunderbolt. Actually, let's see if I can pull it up. It's a Thunderbolt kind of dock or attached devices, and so what it's going to say is, hey, it's going to prompt you and say, hey, there's a Thunderbolt device trying to connect. Do you want to give it access? And so you're giving it administrative privileges to do so. I went ahead and clicked on the drop-down menu to say always, so that it always automatically connects when I plug it in, so I don't have to be bothered by it, because obviously if I'm plugging it in, I want it to connect. So from there, once you have that plugged in and you've authorized it, go ahead and run the Blade Stealth updater, or whichever updater is appropriate for yours, you will see detected components are up to date if you've already ran it. If you haven't, you'll see a list of updates. Just hit update and really just let it do its thing, reboot the system, and then update it again when I ran this multiple times just to make sure. And then when I was done running all of these, I went ahead, see, keep your onboard Intel graphics up to date for performance, best performance. I just click on that, takes me straight to where I need to be. Intel also has its own, Intel driver update utility. I can put a link below to that in the description as well. This will allow you to scan your computer for updates, and then it will automatically install them, so you know you're always up to date. I do this every so often just to make sure that I am getting the best performance. But so far, you'll notice that all this is doing, there's no actual I/O in the core here. I can show it to you. There's no, besides, let me see if I can see it in the camera. Besides the power and the USB-C, there's nothing in it. So all I should see here is that it's plugged in. Yep, it's charging. On the Razer Blade Stealth, it charges. In the Razer Blade 2016, it does not. So this does not provide power to the 2016. But in this case, it does to the Razer Blade Stealth, because that's what this device is. And so that's all I can expect. Now, I'm going to throw this down here. I've got an Ethernet cable right here. I hope you can, yep, Ethernet cable here. It's connected to my network. I'm gonna plug it in to the core. Gives a nice click. And now I went from Wi-Fi to my Ethernet line. And so that right there demonstrates that it's passing through properly. Let's see if I put in a, go ahead and put in a USB drive. So a graphics card is actually not required to use this. This is just a regular desktop dock, but it also has the power of graphics, the external graphics card. See, so now my jump drive just appeared once I plugged that in. But there you go. So that is how you connect it to your system. And now we'll switch over to how to connect a graphics card. All you have to do to install a graphics card is open up the handle, just like we did at the beginning of the video. Slide out the tray. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use an older graphics card that may or may not be compatible. The Radeon HD 5750. So this is an older graphics card. It's not hot swappable compatible that I know of. It's not officially supported by this technology, but it'll do for demonstration purposes. What I normally do is the GTX 980, but right now that is actually sitting up here in this system right there. And that system, I can do a video on that setup if you'd like. Comment below if you want to see more information on that computer, as well as these other systems up here, where this is my router, this is my FreeNAS system, and that's it. This is my wife's computer. So if you want, right there. So if you want a kind of a desk tour and a computer tour, we can talk about the router and just the servers that are basically my solution here. I can do that. So go ahead and comment in the comments if you want to know about that. With regards to this, all you have to do, there's a small screw up here. It should be hand tight. Yeah, that's easy. Hand tight. You just pull that out. I'll put it to the side up here. Pull this guy out. It's pretty easy to, well, I say that. There we go. Pull this guy out. And if you've ever put a graphics card in a computer before, it's as simple as that. It's possible that you may need to fiddle with the bend of this down here, as I noticed in between my desktop and this device. It's actually slightly off. Making sure this part slides in really well right into this corner down here. That's kind of the challenge of this. There we go. It's seated right in there. Now, oh, this guy's in the way. Now you just plug in power. In this case, all I need is one of these. However, yours might need more. Just plug that in, and you're good to go. In this case, I'm going to slide this out of the way. Down here. And alright. So you just slide it right back inside. And you're good to go.